Today we are analyzing a geopolitical development that has the potential to redefine global investment strategies and trade routes. Donald Trump's recent moves could impact global dynamics. Trump's plans to bring Greenland under US control and reclaim the Panama Canal, one of the world's key trade routes, have ignited intense international debate. How will this maneuver impact the global economy? What signs do they send to nations like India? Let's examine this in detail. Greenland, the treasure beneath the ice. Greenland, the world's largest island, is an autonomous territory under the Kingdom of Denmark. When Trump first expressed interest in buying Greenland in 2019, the world dismissed it as a joke. However, following the dramatic military intervention to oust Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, Trump has once again publicly voiced his ambition for Greenland. The US considers Greenland more than just an icy island. It sees it as a strategic military and commercial hub. Here are the primary reasons for this interest. Number 1. Military presence. It has been a vital US military outpost since the Cold War. The Pacific Space Base located there assists in monitoring Russian movements and defending against potential missile attacks. Number 2. Arctic shipping routes. As Arctic ice melts due to global warming, new shipping routes are opening up. The US aims to prevent China and Russia from seizing control of these emerging paths connecting Asia and Europe. Number 3. Mineral wealth. Greenland holds vast reserves of rare earth minerals, essential components for manufacturing everything from smartphones to advanced missiles. Trump believes that controlling Greenland would secure these vital resources for the American industries. The Trump administration is attempting to revive the 200-year-old Monroe Doctrine. This policy dictates that the US will not permit the presence of other superpowers in its proximity. By acquiring Greenland, the US can effectively thwart Russia and China in the Arctic region. Trump has also hinted that he would not hesitate to take military action if necessary to secure these interests. Denmark and other European nations have strongly opposed the American expansionist desire. The Danish Prime Minister clarified that Greenland is not for sale and that its people must decide their own future. They also warned that any move by the US could lead to the collapse of the NATO alliance. Countries like Britain, France, and Germany have declared their support for Denmark. Trump's move, which disregards security treaties established after World War II, is spreading great concern among nations. Scientists point out that while Greenland has mineral deposits, extracting them is not easy. They also note that the quality of minerals in Greenland is lower compared to existing mines in China and Australia. Nevertheless, the world is watching closely to see what stance Trump moving forward versus America First agenda will take regarding Greenland in the coming days. The battle for the Panama Canal. US President Donald Trump has also made claims over the Panama Canal, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, opening a new front in Latin America. Trump is signaling that the US will reclaim control of the Panama Canal and may not hesitate to use military force to do so. Trump claims that China has established dominance in the canal zone, and this poses a threat to US national security. He argues that the neutrality of the canal, which was handed over to Panama in 1999, has been violated. However, the Panamanian government rejected these allegations. The canal belongs to Panama and it will remain Panamanian, the president of Panama clarified. International observers also pointed out that there is no evidence of these Chinese military being present in the canal zone. The Panama Canal holds a major position in America's economic security. This 82-kilometer-long canal connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans saves ships thousands of miles in transit. Two-thirds of the cargo passing through the canal is either bound for or originating from the United States. The US has also spent a massive amount of money on the canal's construction historically. Trump's primary complaint is that Chinese companies control the canal's logistics. A Hong Kong-based company called CK Hutchison controls the ports at the canal's entrances. Trump alleges this company has ties to the Chinese government. However, the company explains that 99% of its employees are Panamanian and it has no financial ties to Chinese government. Trump also criticized the high tolls Panama charges for the passage through the canal. The complaint is that excessive fees are charged to American ships, particularly warships. Often, a ship has to pay up to $4 million to pass through. Additional restrictions imposed when water levels dropped due to climate change also affected global cargo movement. If Trump decides to deploy the military in the canal zone, it may trigger a massive international crisis. This neighboring country invasion strategy of the US has left Latin American countries collectively worried. How will this expansionist policy affect the world? Number 1. Diplomatic fallout. Denmark and Panama are actively opposing US moves. This will inevitably worsen Americans' relations with European countries and traditional allies. Number 2. Trade disruptions. If Trump imposes tariffs on Denmark or disrupts canal's access, it will significantly disrupt world trade. Number 3. Price hikes. If the US seizes the Panama Canal, other countries might have to pay higher rates for their ships. This will lead to an increase in the prices of crude oil, gas, and other essential products. How will it affect India? Number 1. Global inflation. Although a major portion of India's fuel imports does not pass through the Panama Canal, the price hikes in the global market and inflationary pressures will also affect India. Number 2. Mineral access. If China's monopoly in the rare earth minerals market is broken through US intervention in Greenland, India is likely to get such minerals at lower prices. This will strengthen India's digital economy and the electric vehicle revolution. These moves by Donald Trump are not just land deals, but a decision on who should rule the world in the coming decades. If Greenland's wealth and control of trade in the Panama Canal reach American hands, it will be a major blow to China's economic growth. However, there are strong concerns that this intrusion into the sovereignty of other nations could lead the world into wars or a major economic recession. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Geojit Spotlight for more such insights.